Jones, I use the L because, well, it's a common name. I'm from Valparaiso, Indiana, and I'm reading from my book, The Giving Challenge, 40 Days to a More Generous Life. And the stories are taken from, I went on a giving journey. I gave a gift every day for over 500 days. This story is called Whole Hearts and a Half-Eaten Pizza. My husband and I travel often, and he loves to seek out local breweries. On a trip to Niagara Falls, Canada, we located Taps Brewing Company and decided to check it off our to-do list, visiting a local brewery. I ordered a personal pizza that was larger than I anticipated. As I was eating my first slice, 3 young adults slid into the booth attached to ours. The first thought that came to my mind was vagabonds, scruffy looking with large backpacks. I noticed how they stared at my pizza, and I looked at the menu for quite some time without ordering. I'm not sure if they were indecisive or they didn't have much money and needed to figure out what they could afford. Not knowing their story, my comments were merely my observations. Before the pizza arrived, I had downed a half a plate of loaded nachos, so after 2 pieces of pizza, I was stuffed. Leaning over to my husband, I said, I would love to give the rest of my pizza to the kids next to us as my gift for the day. Is that strange? Shaking his head, he said, no, I think you should do it. Nervously giggling, I said, I feel dumb offering a half-eaten pizza. Is that gross? Plus, I'm embarrassed. It's so awkward striking up a conversation with strangers. You are always talking about befriending strangers and challenging others to do so. Hypocritical, if you ask me. He was right. Guilt poured over me, and I knew what I had to do. Even though I was initially uncomfortable, I had gotten into the habit of striking up conversations with strangers as a way to make connection and show kindness. As my husband and I were chatting, our sweet waitress, Victoria, came to our table and asked if we needed a box. Showtime. I sheepishly said no, leaned forward, and whispered, I would like to offer the pizza to the table next to us. Victoria smiled and said, that is awesome. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving in Canada, and I can't wait to go to church tonight and share this story. As we were chatting, I pulled out my wallet and retrieved a Pay It Forward in memory of Emily Huntington card, and I handed it to Victoria. I explained how Emily, a high school senior, captain of her basketball team and soon to be valedictorian, was killed while texting and driving. I shared that her family had created these cards as a way to honor Emily's life, keeping her memory alive and challenging others to pay it forward and share her tragic story of the consequences of texting and driving. Victoria looked at the card, read it over, and said, I'm sharing this with my brother. He needs to hear this. After tucking the card in her pocket, Victoria announced to the table next to us, this kind lady would like to give you the remainder of her pizza. She has only eaten 2 pieces, is staying at a local bed and breakfast with no refrigerator, and doesn't want it to go to waste. Would you like it? Like children on Christmas morning, their eyes lit up, and all 3 nodded eagerly. Victoria picked up the pizza stand and moved it to their table. They devoured it before we left the restaurant. I know it sounds silly, but as I write this story, I tear up because like many other times on this journey, I felt a tug on my heart that day. I observed my surroundings and felt called to share my pizza. In these instances, I can never explain why, but I felt like God placed me in their path to help them out, to feed them, to show them kindness, and to spread Emily's message in another country. We never know the impact of our actions, but there will never be an impact if we never choose to take actions. I think about this day and wonder, was there a ripple effect? In some small way, did these young adults pay it forward? Did Victoria share Emily's message of how a lady gave away her half-eaten pizza? Was a life saved? Did it cause anyone else to pay it forward? I'll never know the answer to these questions, and for me, they aren't the reason I give. But I do hope that for one small moment in time, strangers connected, the food didn't go to waste, and I shared Emily's story. Thank you.